And with that said, we got a young man coming from, I don't know what part of the world he's in. I don't know if he's in Southern California, where he used to be a bartender, used to be an actor. He understood residual income, and somebody shared the ACN opportunity with him. He says, "You got to be kidding!" And right now, he just moved his beautiful family up to Southern Oregon to be there, and just Southern Oregon or Washington, and because his wife wanted somewhere for her horses to run free. And he did. Yes, dear, I'm gonna find something for you, and he moved to the northwest so his wife could have a little place for her horses to to run free. Isn't that a blessing? This business is a blessing. The business can happen for you too, Gold. So without further ado, and he's always on vacation at the end our just trips. He always takes his lovely daughter with him wherever we go on our RD. You know what? The RVP trips, and now they're also open RDs. Guys, the trips are open to RDs. Every one of you can qualify still this year to go next year. Without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to none other than the great Mr. Dean
What's
Tarrolly.
going on, Mr. T? Good to see everybody. Good to see you all. Happy to be here with you guys and spend a few days in December with you. So excited to dive in a little bit. So you guys, let me start where I always start. For however many years we've been doing this now. You guys, this opportunity that Al puts together for everyone on a daily basis doesn't happen by accident. You know, Mr. Clemens, who I know is in like mission control for this whole thing, and Al, between his YouTube channel and these interviews that he does and the interviews that he gives and all of these things, you guys, it just reminds me of something I heard years and years ago. I actually heard it from Senior Vice President Pat Mazer, and here's what he said. He said, "We'll get you the information, so long as you're willing to go get the information from wherever we have it." And I never forgot that. Isn't that funny? I heard that and I never forgot it. We'll get you the information so long as you're willing to go get the information from wherever we have it. So when you guys hear me talk about Al and this platform, right? It's a catchphrase today, this vehicle, whatever, the Zoom, I don't take it for granted. I hope you don't either. And I know that many of you are really consistent about being on here. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But Al, obviously, on behalf of everybody that's on this call, all the other leaders, the leaders around the country, we appreciate you, the friendships that you built, the relationships, and the fact that you put something like this together by the way, for people, whether you're on his team or not. And I think that's significant. So Al, thanks for everything you do. So you guys, good to be with you. Greetings from the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, I'm about 30 miles north of Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver, Washington are like sister cities, right? Not Vancouver, Canada. Portland, Oregon, and Vancouver, Washington are separated by a river, just right there. And I'm about 30 miles north of it. So for those of you who know Southern California, if you got on the 5 North and you didn't get off the freeway, you would end up about 1.5 miles from our house. So you guys moved up here, and this is a big change, right? I'm born and raised in the Midwest, graduated University of Wisconsin, Madison, moved out to New York City, cut my teeth and learned how to, started studying acting out there, worked some, and then moved out to LA and have been there for 30 years. And so when you do a change like that, right, there's a lot of pieces involved. And I got to thinking about today and about December and about spending, a few Thursdays with you guys. And so here's what I want you to write down. And I'll tell you why I shared that with you, right? I want you to write this down, okay? Because I know a lot of you, you commit to taking notes. You guys, you know how I feel about notes. How are you going to teach and train and build a team if you don't have resources to do it with, right? And those come from notes from the leaders that participate on calls like this and other opportunities that you have to get trained, right? So I want you to just write this down. Breakout December. That's the whole month. Breakout December. Now here's the fact. The facts are this. I'm going to be very direct this month, okay? Some of you are not going to break out. Some of you are going to start January's calls, which I won't be on the calls in January. Some of you are going to start January's calls, and your position is going to be in the exact same spot it is right now. It's just, that's the way that it is. But if one of you breaks out, or two of you break out, or maybe five of you break out. Now, look, there's 38 people on this call right now, right? Not including Al, not including me. So 36 people. I hope 36 of you break out, right? So what do I mean by that? It means that you are no longer in the same place that you are right now. It means that you now, 2025, can't even believe I'm saying it, you have more personal customers than you have right now. How about this? You have 2 or 3 new lines of business by January 2025. That's what it means when I say breakout December. You have to break out of that routine and break out of what is comfortable. And there's things that you have to do in order to do that, right? You know, one thing is this: you need to, in my opinion, celebrate those small victories. What's a small victory, right? Peaking someone. Maybe you just are stuck. It feels like your feet are in concrete, stuck in the mud, right? Here's how you change that. When this call is done, before 2 hours goes by, peak someone. I don't care who it is, because when you start getting into the habit of piquing the curiosity of someone, it goes from being uncomfortable to comfortable. It goes from being rare to common, that it's just part of who you are. It's the fabric of what you do. And I think one of the reasons that people don't do that more often is they have this weird wiring. And the weird wiring is when we pique someone's interest, that we're trying to get something from them. We're trying to get them to sign up. We're trying to get them interested. We're trying to get them in front of a presentation. Now, are all those things true? They are, but I want you to put that to the side. I want you to embrace the activity of actually just piquing someone's interest. Let's see what happens. Who knows? Something I'm going to show you at the end. You know, you can't predict the future. You can't do anything about the past. All you have is the present. That's that, you know, that little catchphrase that, you know, the gift is the present, right? Well, that really is what you've got. You can learn from the past and you can set up goals and anticipate the future. But ultimately what you have right now is, what are you going to do the balance of this call? Are you focused on what I'm saying? Or are you distracted with other things, other conversations? Are you still hanging on to the person that did not show up for the meeting yesterday or did not call you back? Are you hung up on that? Or have you let that go? Right? Are you worried about what's going to happen tomorrow, the meeting, the family, the whatever? Or are you just going to trust and take a little bit of a leap of faith that those things are all going to sort themselves out? And the best chance of getting those things to sort themselves out is what you're doing today. So do you guys agree? Like, when we get an ACN, or really any business, right? But certainly a business like ACN, the possibilities, sounds like a commercial. The possibilities really are endless. Is that true? I mean, they kind of are. Like, put it to you this way, you know, what if today you ran into an Al Thomas? Now, you didn't know the guy was going to be an Al Thomas, but you did. And you pique his interest. It's like, yeah, man, I'll take a look. I mean, I can't commit to anything, but I'll look. I'll always look. Right now, you're like, oh my God, I found one. I found one that says they'll always look. Okay. So now you get someone that's positive and open-minded to look, and you set up a call with the leader that you're working with. Why would you choose to do all things yourself? Do we want you to have the ability to do all things yourself? Yes. Do we want you to practically put that into action? No, you want to follow the system and let the leaders that you're working with explain the business for you. And when you do that, now you're following the system. So this is less thought and more action, piquing someone's interest, getting them on the call, getting them on a three-way call with the leader that you're working with. So we get so worried. Here's what it is. We get so conditioned to get caught up on the things that have happened in the past that we miss out what we're doing in the present, and it literally ruins the chances of success in the future. And next thing you know, another day has gone by and we shuffled around the papers and we redid our list maybe, or we watched another training video, but we didn't talk to one person. Who understands those days? Yes or no? Now here's where it gets tricky. Here's where it gets tricky. Now we're in December. Well, shoot. Sorry. Sorry. Hey, look you get what you get. That's who so now you're in December. Well, what did I say was going to happen since I'd been doing this with you guys all summer? I said, we're going to lead into a big event and time's going to go by, then a big event, then time's going to go by, and we are going to blink and we're going to be past Tahoe. By the way, just for the record, for the people that miss Tahoe, I'm telling you that, you know what? Don't ask me, ask Al Randolph what Tahoes are like. Ask the people that were there. It was crazy. So the Tahoe, and then I said, next thing you know, it's going to be Thanksgiving. It's going to be Christmas and Hanukkah, and we're going to be talking about the new year. And I said that in July, right? Well, and you might be saying, well, Dean, that's not a big deal. That's just the calendar. Right, but isn't it amazing? We're now talking in December. I was just with you guys in the summer. So, you guys, I got it right in my notes here. Right in my notes for you guys today. Thinking of every result. Here's what happens. Thinking about what happened yesterday, thinking about today, thinking about tomorrow. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I would have done this. I could have done that. I should have talked to him or her. I could have talked to the manager at the grocery store when I needed to get directions on where to find whatever. That is an opportunity to be able to just talk to someone. And you guys, the time of the year, let me tell you, it's funny that Al, I heard him say this when I was jumping on. Let me tell you guys something. My favorite time of the year to build and talk to people about ACN is December. It's the best. It's the best. I'm going to tell you why. Because whether people admit it to you or not, guess what people are thinking about in December? Guess what they're thinking about? Next year. And then human nature comes in. Oh, you got to understand, company party. I got my employees. I got this. I got family coming in. We got Christmas. We got Hanukkah. We got whatever it is that you celebrate. Oh, December's just a crazy month. So what do? Past, present, future. What do? Man, I totally get it. Decembers are nuts. Agree with them. Look, it may not be a time right now, but are you open to a conversation regarding 2025 and what we're doing? Oh, yeah. Talk to me in. What do they say? Call me in. Talk to me in what? In January. Great. So now you are planting seeds. You are stacking that list, man, in the month of December, because everybody in December wants to make the new year better than this previous year. Now, you have an amazing ability to do that. Why? Actually, let me go back. You don't have an amazing ability to do that. You have an amazing opportunity to do that. Your ability to do it, that's going to be really just a decision that you're going to do it or not. But you do have a big opportunity. Here's why. The same reasons that I just said people won't maybe be as open as you would want them to be, family, company, social events, all the things that make up a busy December. Guess what that also means? It means that people are in front of people. It means that people are being forced to come together, right? So I'm not saying, let me give you some practical, well, hopefully you guys think it's practical knowledge. Look, at your company Christmas party, don't pull out a 1 through 10 overview and like start. That is not the time. But what you could say is this. Hey, Billy, Harry, Mary, Bob, Susan, Jamie, I'm working on a business project in 2025. Are you open to a conversation? It will not interfere with what we do here. That's it. That's it. I'm working on a business project for 2025. Man, I would love to share with you what we're doing. Well, dude, are you leaving here? No. I love my job, whether you do or not. No, it's great. You know, manager's great. This is great. But I always wanted to have more than one stream of income. How about you? Dude, totally. Cool. We got to talk. Let's grab a coffee. Done. Conversation's done. And guess what you did? By default, what you've done is you've not only got them excited and hopeful about what you're going to share with them, you've created curiosity to have a conversation with you. Right? How about this? At the Christmas party, at the gathering. Hey man, I got to ask you something. You look at other ways of making money outside of your work, right? Well, and you're going to hear things like this. Well, it depends what it is, right? Well, of course it depends what it is, but you're open, right? Yeah, man, I'm open. Dude, we got to talk in January. We got to talk in January. Or you could say this, we got to talk. How soon can you give me 5 minutes? Notice I didn't say, how soon can you give me an hour? How soon can you give me a half an hour on a Zoom? It's not what I said. It's not what I said. I said, when can you give me 5 minutes? Well, when you ask someone for 5 minutes, here's the conversation. Past, present, future. Hey man, here's the conversation. I was introduced to this. Makes total sense. We're getting paid when people in businesses pay their bills. Well, what do you mean? If you could get paid and make money, when people pay their bills they have to pay, would you want to know? Heck yeah, I'd want to know. How's that work? I got to introduce you to the person I'm working with. The second it comes, you guys, I almost said another bad word. I hope you get this. The second, listen, are y'all with me? Yes or no? And then I'm going to wrap it up, Al, because I'm all wound up. Here's the deal. The second you get them curious and they say, what is it? What do I need to do? How does this work? What's going on? Your response needs to be, I got to introduce you to the person I'm working with. I got to introduce you to the lady I'm working with. I got to introduce you to the gentleman I'm working with. And it's good. Here's the key part. And it's going to be a quick conversation because they're not going to have a lot of time. Now you just relieved their anxiety that you're going to get them on a call and, bludgeon their ears to death with a 30-minute or an hour. They don't have that time. Look, it's only going to be a quick minute. The second somebody says to you, what is it? How does it work? What do I do? Your response is, I got to introduce you to the expert I'm working with. I got to introduce you to the gentleman, to the lady I'm working with. Well, why? Why can't you explain it? Here goes. Because what I would do in an hour, they'll do in 2 minutes. You want the hour version or you want the 2-minute version? No. I want 2 minutes. Great. Let me introduce you. They'll tell you, by the way, they'll tell you they don't want you to tell them about it. But you have to set it up that way. Look, I can explain it to you. It's going to take about an hour. I'm going to need a chalkboard, diagrams, all this kind of stuff. Or I can get somebody on the phone and they can break the whole thing down in 2 minutes. Which version do you want? Yeah, I'm going to take the 2-minute version. Great. The gentleman's name is Mr. Al Thomas. He's amazing. I will set up a time and you guys listen, and it's going to be a quick call. No, I can do a quick call. Yeah, cool. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they're more open than you imagine. Why? Because it's a quick call. Let Al take it from there. Let Baker take it from there. Let the leader you're working with take it from there. That's not your job. That's their job. Let them do their job. You do your job. So you guys, my goal with today is to let you know that if you haven't been doing that in the past, so what? It's done. You can't do anything about it, right? And you can't really worry about tomorrow because we're here today. Could everyone on this call do one of the things that I just described today, yes or no? Okay, December's off to a good start. I found this and I thought it was really great. And it's really short. It doesn't take long.
Thinking too much. Don't go into the past. Don't go into the future. Be in the present, because only then it's possible that the mind is free, the capacity is free, and now you can completely immerse into whatever you are doing. And this means you have arrived. You have arrived. That's it.
You know why people don't do that? You want to know? As I wrap up, you guys want to know why people don't do that? Do you guys want to know, yes or no? The reason why people don't do that is because it's scary to engage. For people, it's scary to engage. So you know what they have to have? They always have to have a freaking exit strategy. They have to have an exit plan. They have to be distracted with something. Because if they sit there and actually engage with someone, that is a very vulnerable place for most people if they don't understand what they're doing. And if you can just be present, the thing that people don't understand is this. Here's where it gets crazy. Here's where it gets really crazy. When we're out trying to engage with people, if you're thinking about the past or you're worried about the future, you're not going to be present, right, with the person that you're working with, the person that you're talking to. And what people don't understand, what might feel like that's the scariest thing to do, it's the safest thing to do, because now you're actually engaged in and present. Don't worry about what the result could be. Don't worry about what the results were yesterday. Just focus on what it is that you're doing today. Hey, you know what? Here's my goal. My goal is I am going to pique the interest of 10 people today, not this week, today. The manager at the store, the person at the coffee shop, you got to get the tires changed for the winter weather. I'm having to deal with that right now. All those different things. Oh, by the way, the company party I'm going to. And when you guys do that, you'll realize that when you don't worry about the past, don't worry about what's going to happen, and you just simply engage with them. I've told you what to do. Pique their interest. I'm not the person to explain it to you. I got to get you on the phone with the person I'm working with. She is amazing. And by the way, it'll be a quick call. Done. Doesn't matter about whether they get started in the month of December. What matters is how many seeds are you planting right now so January smashes for you. Now, one last thing. With this promotional bonus that the company has for RD, I would say this to the person. After they have the quick conversation with the leader, your leader will say something. Or if you're a leader, you need to adopt this language. Here's what you say. Say, look, Frank, I'm definitely looking forward. We'll definitely catch up the first week of January. What works better, middle of the first week or end of the first week? When they say talk to me in January, look, January is 31 days. I need to get specific. What works better for you, the middle of the first week or the end of the first week of January? Well, probably the end of the first week. Okay, great. By the way, just an FYI, if you could squeeze 30 minutes before New Year's, the company has an extra $2,000 sitting on the table for new people. Whoa, $2,000. Like, does that make sense, everybody? Yes or no? I'm telling you exactly the language that I'm using when I talk to people. So I hope this was helpful, Mr. T. Excited to see what happens in Breakout December for everybody, and I'll turn it back over to you.